moving on and getting to a man who's definitely not a character at all and definitely understood the role that he played throughout his career would be Ric Flair. Jesus Christ. This guy's lost it.
It's a tough day to be a wrestling fan.
Listen, this is it only has 1.4 million views on YouTube, so we're the first to get to it probably, I'm sure.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
People enjoyed this episode of Kill Tony. But it was the talk of the festival. It was the talk of Skankfest. There were a lot of woos going on that I can't do with my voice right now.
Woo!
There you go. There were a lot of those throughout the weekend. Because I think we kind of predicted this. Remember we talked about the Tony and Lewis beef a couple weeks ago. Oh, yep. That's it. Here's another thing I forgot to mention from Skankfest. The rattlesnake approached me.
Did he?
Went out of his way, came up to me, said, "Hey, Blind Mike, I've seen you've been covering me on YouTube."
Oh.
And then just said like thanks for coming, blah, 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 and walked away. And then when he left, I was like, did you notice he said he saw it? He didn't say he enjoyed it.
I was just going to say, wait a minute, this could be bad. This could be a trap.
No, but he seemed to, it was cool of him to approach me. It made me, look like the cock of the walk there for a moment. I get to flex.
Hi, regular Blind Mike.
I met a gay Blind Mike as well.
Did you get a picture? That's a picture that should be in existence.
No, he seemed a little put off by me.
You stole his name 5 years before.
What?
That's probably what he thinks.
Yeah, no, he seemed like a little dismissive of me. He didn't care for me.
I've been around since 2014, bud, or whatever it was.
What the hell? I've had this name for 8 years.
More than that, probably.
2015, I think.
Was it?
When I started a Barstool.
Gotcha.
Anyways. So this episode of Kill Tony is pretty wild. Now, I found out, Shane said this on Man Shane's Secret Podcast, the context for this was edited out. So Ric Flair said something about Asian pussy that Shane and Mark reference a lot. And the only way those jokes are funny is if you heard Ric Flair go on this diatribe about Asian pussy. That got edited out for some reason. I don't know if Flair's people asked for it or what happened, but that got taken out. So just so you know, if there's an Asian pussy reference, that's what it's about.
It seems like Tony treats Rick with kid gloves too.
Oh, completely. Tony's the guy that admired Ric Flair. I think he just liked the idea of having Ric Flair on his show and did whatever he could to keep him on. That was definitely a fanboy type of moment where he was more for Ric Flair than for the comedy that was happening. I think he would admit that probably.
1000%, yeah.
All right, so where are we starting here? There's a gentleman named Daniel. By the way, if you don't know the premise of Kill Tony, open micers get 1 minute to do their jokes, and then the celebrity comedians judge them for it. So that's what we're seeing the end of that here.
Yes. And someone, if for the audio listeners, someone's not really paying attention, I'll say.
Oh, yeah.
Daniel, what would we have to do to convince you to stop doing stand-up comedy here tonight? How do we turn this into a retirement party for you? Because it's
real retirement, not like some people.
Can I say, by the way, real quick, like from Zac Amico, that's kind of like a G-rated joke.
Oh yeah, that's
just a joke. That's just a standard wrestling joke.
Ric Flair had a match last year.
Right.
That's the joke.
Yeah, so that seems perfectly fine. My point is, I didn't hear anything where they were going crazy hard on Ric Flair to this point.
No.
They don't.
Ric Flair's asleep. Did he fall asleep? Oh, sorry. I don't know.
No, he's on his phone. He's on his phone. Okay.
He's like fun Joe Biden.
He's on his phone. It's a very good joke.
He's scrolling.
It's literally.
He's scrolling the Breitbart app.
Teasers these days on their phone. Am I right, guys?
Shut up, Daniel. You're not part of this thing.
Tony giving his frustration to the open micers that he wanted to give to Ric Flair, I think.
Man, I think he was more. See, the way I took it was he's more pissed off at the comics for trashing his hero.
Well, here's the thing, and here's why you can't. I don't understand Tony's mentality about all of this, because even with having Lewis and Zac like in the back, when you have Ari, Norman, and Shane on, it's like you're kind of asking for this debacle. You're asking for chaos to ensue, because already Ari, Shane, and Norman are hammered. Like they got done with Protect Our Parks early that day, I believe.
Oh yeah,
And you could tell Ari's shit-faced.
Yep.
So like you're asking for chaos, which is why Tony seems annoyed by this, but also created it. So I don't know.
Real quick, super chat from Cameo Blind Mike. It's always on when I'm working. $2, and then he says for another $2, JK, it's a bit now.
Listen, DM me and give me your thorough reasons for why I'm a piece of shit, and I'll just take it.
Let us know what your schedule is, and we'll go according to that.
And I really will. Here's where I'm an asshole. Is I'll just do it.
Yeah.
Whatever you need, buddy.
Not Ben, $2. Keto Craig looking like Al Roker.
The Ozempic is working to a T.
Is it wouldn't my balls be like burning off or something right now? Is that the new thing with Ozempic?
I don't know what happens.
There's some sort of side effect that's like huge now, apparently.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's it for now.
Some of these clips, by the way, are very long, so we'll interrupt them when necessary. But just know that I didn't want to cut out any of the context.
Yeah, no, it is worth it. And don't worry, boy, do we have a treat for the next segment.
And I think the next segment's. I almost feel bad finishing with. I think that's what I'm most excited for in this day. But
me too. Me too. I've been waiting. But this one is no having fun.
Yeah, you're not allowed. This is a very weird stance. Ric Flair clearly didn't know what this show was, but you are at a comedy club. You have to know on some level what you're getting into.
About all your heroes diminishing you, though, you know? I mean,
kind of hot.
I'm getting off on this.
Yeah, I get
Cool.
it.
Thank you. No, you're
Not really.
You're incredible. Thank you.
He's up.
Hey. No. Hey, guys.
Woo! I didn't even mean to
Guys.
say woo that first time.
Guys,
I'm just
come here.
inspired.
Shut up, Daniel.
Whoa. I want people to understand something. I'm here having fun, but as long as it's fun, it's fun. When it
Well
becomes
said.
something that I'm not comfortable with and saying something bad, I don't do that. And the minute it goes that way, I'm out of here.
Like
Oh,
sideways Asian
no.
pussy.
What's that?
It's crazy that Tony deleted that because no one knows what the fuck that means.
I'm curious how bad it was that he like what he said.
I don't know. I will say a couple things though. It's cool. So this guy Daniel, this is kind of the coolest thing you could ask for. If you bomb on Kill Tony, at least you're part of like a historic like. People will talk about this episode for a lot longer than just when Patrick Michael was on and bombed or something.
Right. Exactly.
And the other thing is like it's you never really see this in wrestling. A guy who's clearly lost it and doesn't know where he is or anything. It's rare to see that. So it's sad that this was on display for everyone.
I've never seen it. I've watched wrestling since.
You're a wrestling guy, right?
Yeah, I am a wrestling guy. Yeah.
Wasn't Ric Flair like great on the mic? Wasn't that his thing?
Ric Flair is on the Mount Rushmore of wrestling.
But I'm saying specifically on the mic.
If you're going specific mic, he's the
Yeah.
top 2 or 3.
Okay. As a non-wrestling fan, I'm only gathering from this. It doesn't seem like it.
No, this is bad first look. You guys want to know what wrestling is? Look at
Here's
this.
Ric Flair on Kill Tony.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That was my attempt to be humorous, but I will never, ever embarrass anybody or humiliate anybody. The minute that happens,
And he used to go into the middle of the ring, look out into the crowd, point at someone, and go, "Shut up, fat boy."
I feel I'm glad there's not a drop of me saying that exactly from Madawaska, where I'll never humiliate anybody. I'll never embarrass. How about yourself, Rick? Jesus Christ!
show, I'm out of here.
You're not going to do that. We're going to do that for you. You're the good cop.
No, because
Daniel just embarrassed himself.
I'm not the good cop. I respect these people. You guys get it?
You shouldn't.
You have paid you have made me who I am today. I'm not
Thank
here
you.
to fuck anybody up. I laugh. The minute someone says something disrespectful to me or to you, I'm out of here.
We're not going to be disrespectful to you. We will make fun of these people.
No,
that sign
I'm
up.
sorry.
Tony is doing his best to not disrespect his idol,
Rick,
but also not complete. Because if Tony goes too far in Ric Flair's direction, he just loses everyone in the audience. People are gonna be like, "What the fuck?" And the comics are gonna beat the shit out of him. What do you mean we're not gonna be mean to these people?
Rick, I'm gonna actually do the complete opposite of what you're saying right now. Sorry.
Let's finish this clip. I'll say one more thing.
They're so nice.
Is it the drugs or the booze?
Yeah.
I think culminate in the CTE.
Why can't you accept the word you're nice people? Yeah. You know what? It's not. Do you know how many people are bullied and hurt by comments? No, you get it?
It's like a.
Social media has made the world crazy.
Maybe I should
Right
have
or wrong?
Norman just goes, "What the fuck?" They can't believe what they're hearing.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. Ric Flair is like the meanest guy ever.
I may be a high flying, jet ski riding, wheeling dealing son of a bitch, but I'd like to spread that wealth a little bit.
Just stealing, wheeling, dealing, son of a gun.
I'm a
Who's the best?
socialist. Woo!
Woo!
Everyone deserves a fair shake. Woo!
No bullying. You can go to the principal's office. Woo!
I'm for government assistance. Woo!
You get it?
It's like a.
That's never a good sign, by the way. When you're like, "Do you get it?"
You fucking know. Are you fucking listening to me? Let me ask you something, Tony.
Wish I knew more of your Madawaska quotes off the top of my head.
I don't know them either, so it's the wrong show to.
No, you get it?
It's like a.
Social media has made the world crazy.
Maybe I should have
Right or
sent.
wrong?
I probably should have sent you an episode to watch before we make fun of
Thank
people.
you, Ric Flair. You
It's
really
good.
saved me
Well,
there.
I don't make fun of people.
You don't have to.
Anyway, I'm ready to leave in 1 minute, guys.
No, don't
I
leave.
love you. I am.
Don't leave, Rick.
I
No,
am.
don't
I am.
leave.
No, hang
You know
on.
why?
No.
I'm uncomfortable with the format. I appreciate the opportunity.
No,
It's
come on,
just
Rick.
me.
I will never, ever.
Yo, you did so bad, Ric Flair.
You did so bad. Ric Flair's leaving.
It's the perfect group of guys to not give a fuck. Like, Tony maybe a little bit, but Lewis, Zach, Shane, Ari, and Mark aren't going to care that Ric Flair might walk off the stage. In fact, I think they want to encourage it at this point.
I think it would be like one of those things. Like if you could frame it, they would put it on their wall,
yeah, a badge of honor.
like that kind of thing.
Nice go.
This is a
There
fever
is
dream.
no humor in the world that makes fun of people.
What?
It's very funny because Zac Amico's right behind him. Like what? It's like all he
Zac
does.
Amico pays his bills.
Yeah, no kidding.
No humor in the world that makes fun of people. So guess what? I apologize. I'm not one of them.
No, you're good. You don't have to.
No, I'm not apologizing.
I'm an unusually horrible.
I will.
vulgar
I
man.
will have fun, but I won't make fun.
Beautiful. Well, we got you.
What a saying.
I like that the open micer's trying to make fun of himself to try and get Ric Flair back.
Ric Flair,
I'm
can you
unusually
just,
horrible.
that'd be great if he was just like, can you just please chop me and just get back to normal?
So I was going to ask Vinny Paulino to come on, but I knew we weren't going to get to it till like an hour and a half into the show, which it seems like
Yeah.
I'm right. But I heard on WATP them saying that Vinny Paulino wrote for the roast of Ric Flair,
Oh, did he?
and it was the same type of horse shit. like Rick was saying, like don't bully anyone. And I think Vinny and probably everyone else in the writers' room's question would be, why are you doing a roast? Like you're literally at a roast telling people not to make fun of each other. I don't understand. What horrible representation. I don't even blame, like Ric Flair's clearly out of it, so I don't even necessarily blame him for not looking into what Kill Tony was. Like the idea that his people didn't tell him what this was is wild.
It's insane. I don't know why Tony didn't tell him, just to his face.
Well, Tony did. So Tony said he did tell him. The mistake he made was telling him 7 or 8 beers ago.
Oh yeah, that's a big mistake. Giant mistake. Because Rick did Rogan's show before this too, with Tony. Tony's like, yeah, I'll get to it. I just don't want to tell him that we make fun of people.
Literally. I mean, that's what Tony's an amazing roaster. Like that's what he's known for.
He's not going to talk to me ever again. There's another long one here, but this is the last one.
I think this is the longest, right?
Yeah. No, actually, the last one we just played was longer.
Oh, okay. Then we'll get through it with ease.
Yeah.
That's great. Have you ever commentated on anything before?
No, I haven't commentated on anything.
By the way, sorry, this is later. This is a different guy, by the way.
Right.
And I will say, Ric Flair said he was going to leave in a minute. He lasted a little while.
I think it was 15 minutes or so in between.
Something like that, at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Have you ever commentated on anything before?
No, I haven't commentated on anything before. And based on how this is going.
One more thing. Sorry, that you should know. He's a wrestling coach. This guy.
He's jacked.
That's a vital importance based on what Rick's about to say. Is this guy's a wrestling coach?
Yeah.
This is so
I believe those are paid. I believe that's a paid position, but what do I know?
Shit. Ric Flair, can you please tell us a story?
So right there, I know you can't see it. Tony gives Lewis the biggest death stare ever.
Yeah, there's a weird thing, and it goes back to what we were talking about a few weeks ago. There's a weird thing, and it's why I was down on Tony, where like it seems like Tony's looking down at Lewis and Zac as part of this. And it's like, look at the condition that Ric Flair is in right now. Do you really think anyone is beneath him? Like, is Ric Flair above anyone in this position? Being on a roast, telling people to be nice, he's completely hammered.
Yeah, Tony looks down at a lot of comics, especially.
And I didn't like that, but I'll say he redeemed himself. And Tony was on with the Skanks and Roseanne and Violent J. And I thought he was good on that show, too. So he redeemed himself a little bit.
The little sample cook is it a minute? If you could do that.
You are here with Ric Flair. You are a wrestling coach. How does it feel to have a performance like that in front of Ric Flair?
Fuck.
No, hey. Actually, to be honest with you, I respect that very much. My son was a great amateur wrestler.
He's drunk and he's about to talk about his son who died. So this is
always good to bring up at the comedy mothership on a roast show.
Yeah, he talks about him and he falls the fuck apart every single time. And this time it wasn't even prompted. He just brought it up himself.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm going to make this. This is why. Come here, guys. This is why I'm leaving after I say this. No, stop. No.
I can say, as an audience member, I would kind of be like, "Good, get out of here!" Like, now the comics can shine. Ric Flair's kind of dragging the show down.
He fell asleep on stage. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, good riddance.
Beat it.
I have more respect for people that take their time to support any youthful athletic event. My son was a great amateur wrestler. He died of a heroin overdose.
Oh.
In 2013. I don't need to hear that. I'm over that. But anybody...
You are? You're over? You shouldn't be. You're over your son. Come on, guys. I'm over it.
It was only 11 years ago.
It's just a father burying his child, guys. Let's not all cry over spilled milk here.
Right. That's nothing.
That's not the point I'm making. The point is, don't bully people. That's my real message. It's not about my son dying.
Yeah, you should have seen what he had to go through though against Hulk Hogan at Starrcade.
I'm not over Daniel being called a hack on Kill Tony, but I am over my son's death.
That's a great point.
To support kids and make them better, because I can tell you right now, from personal experience, and because I believe in my heart.
All right. Shout out to the band, the Kill Tony band.
He did that, was it the Hulk music?
The Hulk walking away music. Go back just a little bit so we can hear that starting. I got to say, based on, in some respect, Tony is like their boss, more or less, I guess, right?
Yes.
So Tony is obviously uncomfortable with what's happening and everything. The balls and the band to pull this trick out. Mwah. Kudos to you guys.
Beautiful.
And because I believe in my heart.
Oh, I didn't go back far enough. You got to hear right before it actually kicks on.
That I'm over that. But anybody that can take time away from their life to support kids and make them better, because I can tell you right now, from personal experience, and because I believe in my heart.
You ever had Asian pussy?
I guess that's funny.
What are the ages of the people that you're coaching, Guy?
It's high school age, so 9th grade.
Rick, don't leave. Are you really leaving, Rick? Don't do it.
Oh, no.
Thank you for all the respect.
We lost Ric Flair, everybody.
Imagine someone being like the biggest figure maybe ever in WWF, WWE. Like, when as a non-wrestling fan, my image of the WWE is Vince McMahon pissing his pants as Stone Cold holds a gun to his head or whatever the fuck that was.
Bang 316, dude.
It's a mockery. It's a legitimate mockery. That's what it's supposed to be. And Ric Flair is like, I mean, if I'm not going to be taken seriously,
I'm getting out of here.
Listen, if the Nature Boy isn't going to be handled with some class and grace.
This is so funny and weird.
If I can just say one final thing before I get out of here, I am the best thing going today. Woo.
If I just want to get before I leave, I just want to talk about how my son's death. I don't even give a shit.
If I can be clear about one thing, my son's death, I am over. That is yesterday's news. Take it out with the trash. I'm done with it.
The only reason I thought of him was because you said wrestling coach.
But I don't like these guys. My real brothers here, the open micers on Kill Tony. That's who I will go to the mat for.
Yeah, these are the guys that really mean the world to Rick.
They will not be disrespected on my watch.
If you get picked randomly in a raffle, brothers for life.
He mentions, out of nowhere, he mentions his son dying. The crowd goes, oh, he goes, no. Hey, lighten up, will you? Who cares about that?
Thanks for doing this. I'll see you afterwards. No, you're good. You're good. We love you. Make some noise for Ric Flair, everybody. Come on.
Tony doing his best to keep that bridge built.
He looks like he's falling asleep walking off the stage.
Well, I think there's a lot of, not just substance abuse, but other things at play with Ric Flair, probably.
And if Tony knows Ric Flair, he should know not to stuff him with booze before the show.
It's interesting. If you're Tony, it's like, yeah, that's cool. You got to meet and do a show with one of your heroes. Why is he so nervous that relationship is going to be? Maybe it might just be psychological that he doesn't even know why he's acting like that. But it's like, what is Ric? Are you going to become best friends with Ric Flair? You know what I mean? Are you guys going to be drinking? But like, this man obviously seems out of it.
Mark Normand, who's on the stage, kind of had that with Seinfeld.
Well, what do you mean?
Like he was his hero growing up. He was a big fan of the show.
But yes, Normand is legitimately friends with Seinfeld. I guess that's what I'm saying. Is like, do you think you're going to have that relationship with Ric Flair?
I think he
might.
Seem
like a guy who's capable of that.
I feel like this has been like a decade long. No.
Oh, have they been friends for a long time? I don't know.
I feel like anytime.
Oh, man, if they're legitimate friends, then that explains it a little more. Because I'm watching this thinking, like, why is Tony trying so hard not to shit on what's happening here?
But at the same time, you're like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of someone, if they were in this room, no matter what, I'd be like, you guys better watch it. don't make fun of them.
Yeah.
But I can't off the top of my head. But there's like 30 seconds left here.
Thank you all for all the respect. But I will never sign up to make fun of people that donate their time. I won't. I swear to God, I respect you all and thank you for coming out.
The music still.
I can have fun. I will never make fun of time of people that donate their personal time to make it even better.
Ric Flair, everybody.
He just wasted everyone else's.
And then he just leaves. Also, I think I heard Carl point this out. I don't think wrestling coaches donate their time. I think they're compensated.
I thought this whole time when he's talking about that, he was talking about the people that come up and do a minute of stand up. They're donating.
That's how I took it too originally. When Carl said that, I was like, oh, maybe that's what he means. You're right. That's what I thought he meant, and that's even crazier because they know what the show is.
But he probably doesn't. And they're like, why are you guys just making fun of this guy?
It's wild. I mean, you couldn't. I think, and that's why I'm surprised Tony wasn't reveling in it more. I don't think you could ask for any more out of a Ric Flair appearance. What's it going to be, really coherent and funny?
You want him sober?
Boy, Ric Flair was sharp on this episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, that episode has like 1.4 million views the last I looked at it. So I think it all worked out pretty nicely for Mr. Hinchcliffe.
I think it did.
Yeah. So check it out. I think it's all worth a watch if you haven't seen the full thing, even though they did cut out a lot of the Asian pussy stuff.
As we call the good stuff, you know.
It's wild. So I skipped ahead. I was just looking for the clips of this. So I skipped around a little bit. And I skip ahead to minute 8. And Tony's still doing ad reads. And I was like, boy, good for you, buddy. Jesus Christ.
Fuck.
First 10 minutes of your show is ads. That's impressive.
Yeah. We might have some on the horizon here, by the way.
Hey, maybe one day someone will sponsor this show.
No, I got stuff in the works.
Oh, is that right?
I do, yes.
Oh, wow.